Right, time to do the season review of the season that was. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember. Did a lot happen? I honestly can't remember. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 31 of Club 3 here on MyCareer, which might be the final part of Club 3 on MyCareer. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we are going to round up the season. The first thing we're going to do other than that is see what happens with the job offer, the job application we put in for Chelsea. It is another Premier League club. I would quite like to go abroad, but if we have to go to Chelsea first, I'm not against it because they've probably got some money. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. We'll also try and plan for Southampton this season, assuming we don't go. And then we'll decide whether we stay at Southampton regardless, or do we leave the club in order to facilitate a move elsewhere? That is something we need to think about. And if you're excited to see what we decide on doing and how we get there, then do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any Football Manager content nonsense that comes out of this face right here. Let's get into the review, shall we? Because it looks like we had a cracking season. So, season review. Let's load it up. New arrivals, very quiet really, because remember, I did balls up in the summer because I was convinced we were leaving. Aren't I glad that we didn't now? The best signing was without question Wesley Fofana. He did level up our defence. We were still leaky at the back. I think I know where the issue lies. I think I've known it all along really. But Fofana was fantastic. £83 million well spent. Started 38 games, had 5 sub appearances, got a couple of goals and an assist as well. Over a 7 rating, that will do. Then other signings. Tresoldi was good, 49.5 million, 7 goals, but they were literally in his first few games. After that, he didn't really step up. But hopefully next season, once he's settled into the squad, he will be the Pinamonti replacement. But I think he did a decent enough job. Dylan Veenstra, we didn't give him much of a chance, really. £60 million. He only started 12 games, played 22 other than that. 1 goal, 2 assists. I actually think if we give him a chance next season, he could be nice. And Prince Anning, very expensive panic buy at the end of the January transfer window. But you know what? He did a job for us when we needed him to. In terms of big transfers out, James Price was the biggest shock. £92 million for Newcastle. And he's done okay for them. But yeah, we were getting a bit fed up with him because he just wasn't performing to the level we needed him to. He's gone there for big money. Good luck to him. Ryan Aït-Nouri, out the door. Barely used him last season. Honestly was okay, but not spectacular. Gone to Benfica, £29 million. Nice. Antonio Silva, similar story. £20 million. Made a bit of a loss on him. Not so nice. Tommy Gardner, I really wanted him to be a superstar for us, but he's just the potential dropped off. And he's had an awful season from the looks of things. Really hasn't performed for Leicester. But we will remember him for the stuff he did for us, because there were just times when he looked unplayable. So, very well, fine, sir. Don't care about Mackenzie Johnson. Alan Tamara, Man City used the buyback, which was ridiculous. And they've played him a few times, but not many. So it does baffle me a bit. And we don't really care about Alex Cousins. In terms of the season, well, how does back-to-back Premier League titles sound? 28 goals for Orlando. He's the top goal scorer. He's the second player we've had as a top goal scorer in the league. We won the league with 96 points in the end. Drew 3 games, lost 4. The best record in the league. Best goals scored. What's 4th best goals conceded, I think. So it's still a Champions League level of goals conceded. So we did pretty well there. But we maxed out the attendance for the season, 100%. Every game was a sellout. And the season was a good one. We didn't really have any shaky periods. We were ultra consistent throughout most of it. We'll go through the other competitions first before we go to the Champions League. Community Shield, won that one. That was nice. Orlando with a couple of goals. Beautiful. Carabao Cup, won that one. Beat Wolverhampton Wanderers in the final. Fairbury, Badishile and Orlando with 3 goals each as the top goal scorers for ourselves. Nice. FA Cup, got knocked out by Arsenal. Didn't defend that one. But it was Arsenal who pushed us very, very close to the title until we kind of took off towards the end. So, I'll take that. But the Champions League, though, we won that, and we did it by beating Arsenal along the way, which is just baffling to me. But we did beat AC Milan in the final. It was 5-3 overall, 3-3 after normal time. Orlando with 9 goals in the competition, and again, we maxed out our attendance there. Nice. Those moments to remember. Gee, I wonder what they are. Our biggest win was 5-0 against West Brom. Orlando with a hat-trick, Palmer and Shoulder up with the goals. Match to remember, we beat Man City 3-0 in November, which was apparently good. Orlando with another couple and Shoulder up scored as well. And then the goal of the season was apparently Veenstra, of all people, with a powerful effort from 25 yards. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Because I do not remember this, but it must have been a good one. It was the one that opened the scoring, so let's see. just how spectacular this was. Jay Leathan scoring in this game as well, which is always nice to see. You know I love me some Jay Leathan. So Livramento is on the right-hand side. Okay, has the ball, gets it to Tapia. Tapia looking for options, goes to Vinstra. Oh my word, yeah. All right, normally I dispute it. That's a stunner. I'll take that. First touch, have it. Nice. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Money-wise, so first of all, reputation. We've gone up to worldwide 5-star. We've gone from 4.5 to 5, so that's jumped up. I mean, it snuck up on us that we were 4.5-star, but to get to 5-star, nice. Sponsorship's gone down by a couple of million. That's a bit sad. Everything else, though, is up in the green. So a couple of million extra in broadcast, an extra million or so in hospitality. Competition prize money has shot up by about 20-30 million, somewhere in that region. And match day and commercials gone up as well. In terms of best shirt sellers, Pinamonti's still number 1. A tier because he's likely to leave this season. Palmer, Orlando, Veloso and Cucciara, the other ones as well. We could lose Palmer this season because I am debating whether we do that, but he did score in the Champions League final, so maybe we don't do that. In terms of our team of the season, this is the one that comes up. Hoyinhal in goal, Jimenez, Badiashile, Fofana and Thomas in defence. Why those two are the wrong way around, I do not know. But it's then Veloso and Tapia in the middle. Interesting to see it's Tapia and not Lavia. But hey-ho. Leathan, Cucciara and Shoulder up supporting Orlando up front. So Orlando gets the nod ahead of Pinamonti, even though Pinamonti, when we called upon him, did still play well. But it's interesting to see Leathan's there instead of Cole Palmer. In terms of accolades, Manager of the Month 3 times, Manager of the Year for the 4th year in a row. And that's just the Premier League. If you count Manager of the Year in all of the competitions I've played in, you're looking at him. Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season is Orlando, because how could it not be after that season? Signing of the season was Fofana, we knew that. We knew about goal of the season. Top goal scorer we knew is Orlando. In all competitions he scored 46 goals. Shoulder up with 24 assists as well. Closely followed by Jay Leathan in the league, actually. Did really well. Most Player of the Match awards was 12 for Orlando. Highest average rating was Orlando. And most passes per 90 was Charlie Cresswell. Again, another player is probably going to be leaving. We have got a bunch of awards, including Champions League Goalkeeper of the Season to Kim Christian Hoyinhal. Alright, cool. Champions League Midfielder of the Season as well, Cole Palmer. That's a weird one, but I'll take it. English Football of the Year and Players Player of the Year, both Andreas Shoulder up. European Golden Boy Jay Leathan, I'd almost forgotten about that. That explains why he's also the Young Player of the Year as well. And English Premier top goal scorer is Orlando. In terms of record breakers, as mentioned, overall goals by a player in the season for Southampton is Orlando. He's also got the most Player of the Match awards in the season, and also we've got the record highest transfer fee, the initial 82 million for James Price. History in the making, lots of things happened, and then the dynamic manager timeline. So again, I say this at the end of the last couple of seasons. You haven't watched this from the beginning. We did start at Dartford. Go back. I'll try and remember to put a thing up here. I guarantee I will forget. But go back on the channel, find a playlist for Club 1. That is Dartford. Start there and you'll see the journey go through to Dartford, to Tranmere, and then to Southampton, which is where we are now. And now we have been ridiculous, really. I think we've reached like 500 matches in the Premier, not in the Premier League, but just in general as well as part of the club. I don't think it's on here. Should be, really. It doesn't look like it is. Oh yeah, 500 matches. It's literally right there. But yeah, next gen, Paris Walker-Hughes. I did mention that in the last episode or the one before. But yeah, what a season we have just had. Absolutely insane. I mean, club vision and expectation. We'll have a quick look at the supporters profile first. So the core fan base has gone down. It's now 28%. Family's gone down to 20%. Got more fair weather fans because, you know, in the nicest way, with a successful club, that tends to happen. And casual fans have gone up as well. Hardcore and corporate are still the same. We are developing young players. They're happy with that. We're playing entertaining attacking football. They're happy with that. We haven't played Portsmouth, so we can't be judged on that. We're making the most of set pieces. Counter-attacking football we're not doing because we don't need to. We're better than that. And finishing mid-table. Reserving judgments on that because we haven't been meeting that. We've been over-exceeding that. Vision and expectations. I am going to negotiate it because if we've got counter-attacking, it's going off here. We don't have counter-attacking anymore. Great stuff. They've put on... Well, they haven't put it on, but possession's on there. Those are informational objectives. 4-year contracts, fine. 1 year, 2 year, they're all fine. Expand the stadium. Absolutely, I agree with that. 40,000 is not enough. I think we're going to get to the point where the club needs to build a new stadium. So I'm going to accept all of that. I'm happy with that as a list of things that we need to do. That's grand. Right, end of season team meeting. What are we doing next season? We are going to qualify for the Champions League next season. Yeah, I haven't looked at what the club wants us to do. So that was a bit of a gamble. Latter stage Champions League, that's also a bit of a gamble. We'll say that one. Marco Cucciava's not very happy, but everyone else seems to be delighted, which is great. So, in terms of training camp, we'll have a look at that. I always go to the USA. Why break with tradition? And we've got a release clause on shoulder up. That's a fair point. Right. Do we change it? Because if we leave, I might want to sign him. No, that's not a fair way to play the game. Right, we'll discuss a new contract with the agent. He wants a lot of money. Still a lot of money. Okay, well, we'll consider that. When we get the reminder to put the offer in, we will do it. Barcelona looking for Romeo Lavia. I'm not going to comment on that. We are still, of course, waiting to hear back from Chelsea. We're not the favourite. The Atletico Madrid manager is... he's not even Atletico Madrid. They've looked at a bunch of managers, actually. But the Bayer Leverkusen manager, who finished second in the Bundesliga, is the guy who they're looking at. He's a new-gen manager, so... could lose out to him. But we are also waiting for other jobs to become available. So, it might not be Chelsea. We know Liverpool and Manchester City had bad seasons, or at least by their standards. We know they are not looking down on their managers favourably, let's put it like that. It would be the second or third season in a row, probably the third season in a row for Liverpool, that they would consider it. Right. We are expanding the stadium. It's going up by, I'm assuming that means 14,000. Yeah, by 14,000. So it's going to be 54,000. It's not going to have a roof or anything like that. But it's going to cost a lot of money. Our facilities are being downgraded. We are going to ask to see whether we can get them go back up. Hopefully we can. And we are going to say that Jay Leathan absolutely deserves an international call-up. 100% for the season he's just had. He's a European Golden Boy. He was the young player of the season in the Premier League. How is he not? Right. Mourinho's not impressed with him. Okay. Fine. Lavia wants a new contract. Why would I ask Frank Lampard? Frank Lampard's my under-18s manager, by the way. Why would I ask Frank Lampard his opinion on this particular matter? I don't understand that. Right. I think we do want to discuss it with him. We'll say that we'll look at it. Yeah, no, we will look at it because he's been our captain, and in the nicest way, he's captained us 2 seasons in a row. But I think it's probably fair to say that his ability, I'm going to have to say that he's that, aren't we? Right, how much is he actually on at the moment? Ooh, it's not that much of a jump, actually. I thought it was going to be more of a jump than that. Put him down to that. Let's try and put him down to 5, and then we'll up this a little bit. He's definitely the captain of the club. He's captain, my captain, but it does have to be said, his position is not a guaranteed one. It genuinely isn't. Like, other players have gone into the team before him. Tapia has done it. Veenstra has done it. So, you know, I'm happy for him to stay, but he might have to accept that he's not going to be a guaranteed starter. So, we'll just see what happens with that then. I'm happy to put that up as well. See how he does with that. I'd quite like that to go down. Try that. Okay, fine. Let's accept that. Right. Shoulder Up is going to hopefully sign that new deal. It doesn't have a release clause in it. Could have been sneaky if I do move clubs, but we're not going to play that game. We're going to do things properly. Right. I'm just playing forward here, just see if anything comes up about Chelsea. We've applied for the job. We've not had anything, but we are not wanted by them, it looks like. So, I don't know how that will go, but I'm going to go away, and we're going to see how things go. Fingers crossed. Get an interview with them, and then we can also look further afield. Remember, we're a 4.5-star manager now, so there is every chance that we will get picked up by someone this time. Last time we were a 4-star manager. Hopefully that last star, or half a star, definitely helps. We are not going to get the training facilities upgraded, which is a bit frustrating. We are only a bit of a black hole of money, though, so I can kind of understand that just a little bit. That's been like that for a couple of seasons now. That's making me think maybe it's the right time to step away from this club. But we need a club to actually come in and say, we want you. In particular, saving the game. In particular, we need Chelsea to turn around and say, we do actually want you to interview for the job. And we might just have to promise something. Because every time I've gone for a job in the save so far, I don't think I've promised anything. I certainly didn't with Liverpool or Manchester City when we had those interviews. Or Inter for that matter. I keep forgetting we had the Inter interview. But yeah, we're getting all of these contracts being signed. We're not nothing to do with this at all. That's coming up. Right, I'm going to go away and I'm going to have a look at the squad. In terms of transfers, the main 2 I'm thinking. Centre-back, because Charlie Cresswell's more than likely going to leave. And I'm thinking of replacing Hoyenhal, who, to be fair to him, would fetch a pretty penny. 50 to 62 million. We might be able to drive that up a little bit. Remember, he's a Champions League winning goalkeeper and a Euro winning goalkeeper, don't you know? So maybe we can drive it up a little bit. But his goals to games ratio is shocking, really, when you look at it, considering he's won 2 Premier Leagues. So I think we move him on and we'll try and bring someone else in. So I'm going to go away and have a think about that. See if we can get anyone on board, but also keep an eye out for any jobs coming up as well, and hopefully get an interview with Chelsea. So I will see you when one of those many things happens, hopefully. Alright, this transfer window has just kicked off big style. We've got a couple of huge offers in. Well, I say 2. I've only looked at one of them. Manchester City wants Cucurella and he wants to go. So they're offering 69 million up front, 28 million in installments, and after 20 international games, we'd get another 12.25. So the total of that would potentially be 110. It's enough to get the conversation going. They have to give me minimum 80 million up front. We're not dealing with this nonsense. This is going up to here. Do you know what? I want 120. I want 25. That's what you need to pay. Right, Guardian, what do they want? They're willing to pay some big boy money, so 100 million potentially in total. So we're getting rid of that first of all. We're getting rid of... Actually, no, I'm okay with that. We'll have it... Oh, I've just screwed that up, really. We'll go for 1 million on that. But I do want installments. I want more money than that. So, first of all, minimum, I would say 75. Right, let's get 80. And then, do you know what? We'll get rid of that as well. And we're going to go with 20. That is the minimum I would expect. And I would actually like a percentage of sell-on. 10%. That's what I'm going with. Right. Patricio Gallardo has had an offer going for him. We don't need a midfielder at the moment, so that's okay. Right. What are they going to come back with? That is the question. What are they going to come back with? Still not heard anything from Chelsea. I did do a silly thing. I did declare interest in the Liverpool job if it becomes available. The manager hasn't been sacked yet, but he's still insecure. Dortmund has become secure again, as has Man City. So they're giving their managers another chance, obviously. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward from here. There is no vacancy at Liverpool at the moment, but it will be interesting to see if my interest actually makes them move a little bit. Right, transfer offers in. Offer for Cresswell. It's money, so I would like a bit more up front. And I'd be willing to drop that down to 15. And I'd be willing to drop that down to 3.5. So I'd be willing to take a loss on him. Right, Newcastle's Guardian offer. That's upset me. They are not willing to meet it. So that's 100. Oh, that's no Guardian. Oh, my word. Right. Will they be willing to meet this? I don't want to lose Guardian because he's gotten better this season. Much, much better. Oh my god. They want Cucurella and they can afford him. Man City could get Cucurella. Can we convince him to stay before we do anything? Can I ask him? I think I can do. Okay, fine. 270 million. Sure. I'm not gonna. That's the amount that's on there. Well, here's what we'll do. Okay, to make it fair. If they give me 100 million up front. 100 million up front. And then 50 million in installments. Then I'll be happy. 150 million. Okay, so the fans don't want to lose the manager, but actually we'd be all right. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Oh, it's all going on. Right, well, we want Cresswell out the door, so that one's fine. I'm happy for Cucurella to go if we get a decent enough fee. Because you know I'm going in for Capitao at Manchester United, because that boy's a baller. But what I don't really want to do is lose Guardian. And I'm worried that we're going to be losing Guardian. I'm very worried that we're going to be losing Guardian. Right. Final offer. That's 1 million less, so it's a no from me. Fulham have made an offer for Cucurella again. They'll match it. Okay. Charlie Cresswell, go. Right, Man City for Cucciara. I don't want to upset him. Liverpool are in for him now. Well, they're not in for him, but they're interested in him. But, I mean, that's a lot of money. We've got to accept it. The 20% of the profit. So, basically, they will get 20 million, near enough of that. We'll get 80-ish million, maybe 75 million, but we'll accept it. Because we said to him we'll go. We said to him we'd let him go if they offered a reasonable amount. Okay, it's not the 270 that we said it would be, but that's a ridiculous amount of money. Pinamonti's been left out. Are we going to put him on the transfer list? I think we are. I think we should put him on the transfer list. Offer him out for an unspecified amount, see if anyone comes in for him. Right. Well, it looks like we're not going to be going to Liverpool unless something dramatic happens, but Chelsea still have not got back to us. Sometimes some clubs do take an absolute age, so it might be nothing to do with us, it might just be something to do with the club. But what's important is Guardian hasn't come back to us and thrown a strop because we rejected the offer. That's something at least. And also, we're getting this done relatively early, which means we can look around for a replacement. Right. Ward-Prowse is going to be here, and he'll be going to an under-18s coach. He has now retired. James Ward-Prowse, thank you very much for your service, sir. Absolute legend of the game. He's won everything there is to win. We have now got a new contract for Levere. It has got a release clause in. I'm not that bothered about that. Not that bothered about that at all. I'm a bit bothered no one wants Pinamonti, but then he is 31, 32. He is going to be a player in his twilight. But I kind of don't really worry about the transfer fee for him. I'm just willing to let him go. If someone comes in and offers very, very little, I don't mind. Right, vice captain. We do need to sort this out. Who is the best option? Guardian or Orlando? Do you know what? Straight away, I'm looking at Guardian, but his teamwork's not very high, so I'm thinking Tapia. Just because he's got the higher teamwork. Yeah. It's going to be Tapia. Diego Tapia is going to be our vice captain. I think that makes sense because he plays a lot of football and he'll probably get more game time as a result of it. Right. Can we get something from Chelsea, please? Right. There's apparently offers in for players. Danny Forrester, not interested in letting him go right now. The waiting game still for Chelsea and also for Cucciara. We kind of want that to happen as soon as possible so we can start spending that money. Or we want Chelsea to come in as soon as possible. Top centre. Still this dude who's the favourite. Still no big jobs other than that available. Fulham job's available. I'm not interested in the Fulham job. Again, what I'm considering doing is leaving the club. And we might just holiday forward month after month. But at the moment, Chelsea just aren't coming in for us. And that really worries me that they're not interested. But I do think, again, if you didn't watch the last episode, if you haven't watched the series from the beginning, objective number 1, win the Champions League as a manager. Objective number 2, the bonus objective, win it more than 2 times with more than 2 clubs. Chelsea have offered me an interview. There it is. I don't have any reservations, but it's because of our performances with Southampton. That's why they've got us. Right. Lacked variety. I mean, I've played with 3 clubs. I think we'll say that loyalty. Done highly impressive work. We have taken them as far as we can, I think. Yeah, definitely. Candidate, performance to expectations. Sure. You know what? We'll promise that. Don't repeat to our last manager. Are you going to be around here for a while? I have a track record of spending time. It's hard. As part of the recruitment process, you can do changes. Small budget. Long-term vision. Grow the reputation of the club. Work within the budget. Contracts, fine. I'm okay with all of those. And just Europa League. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No expectations this season. Absolutely. But they've not shown us any budgets or anything as a result of that. So we would be going in relatively blinds. But we have had the interview for Chelsea. Which does mean there's a chance we are moving clubs. Doesn't mean anything. We had 3 interviews last year. Didn't get a single job out of them. But there is a chance that we will be leaving the club. And that, I think, went quite well because, you know, we did make at least one promise in there, which I think helps. I've been recording for a long time. I am fully aware. I just want to see where the Kuchiyara goes as well. There it is. Kuchiyara is leaving. I feel really sad that he's leaving because look at him. He's fantastic and he's only 23. He's only going to get better and better. He's had a fantastic period here for us. We signed him here. We sent him on loan for 2 seasons. And, I mean, to be fair, he didn't actually play there at all, which was a bit disappointing. But did we? Oh, no, we signed him, but we sent him straight back on loan. Did we? I can't remember what we did. But either way, we had a great loan season there. We brought him back and he's had 2 stellar seasons. I mean, 12 goals and 7 assists is good, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He's been fantastic. A Southampton legend, number 5, Marco Kuchiyara. Been a pleasure, sir. 112 million goes into the transfer kitty as a result. I don't quite know why it's that much, because that seems like more, because it was 100 million up front and 50 million in instalments. But a hell of a lot of money. But Charlie Cresswell has not left. So that's the downside. But now look at the transfer kitty. Oh my word, we've got the money. We didn't get 112 million. They took money off of it. So they lied to me. The board lied to me. But now look at the money in the balance. That looks a lot healthier. So we now need to start thinking, even though we're committed to leaving, we now need to start looking for players who can replace him. Like this random guy here. Asan Rodrigo. Wadraga. It's a no from me because I can't pronounce his name. Capital's the one, though, that jumps out straight away. Just, to me, is superb. And he will grow. Already got 11 caps for Brazil. Link up with Orlando. That's the agent. They want a lot of money for him, but we can actually afford that. And then we're thinking about a centre-back. Well, no, we need a centre-back because we're getting rid of Charlie Cresswell. We are getting Linton Hamnet back in, but I think we do still need a centre-back. Someone who's on the younger side. Lucas Cardoso, maybe. Don't mind it being someone who has some growing to do. I don't mind it being someone who's not the finished article. Just want someone who's good. Jurica, 2 caps for England. 6'1", jumping reach isn't that all that, but he's more of a right back actually. So maybe we move on from him and look at someone else. Cardoso is the one that jumps out as the best option on the shortlist. Danielson possibly. He's asking to leave. More of a defensive midfielder. He's 5'11", probably not him. Right. We'll focus on attacking midfield. 159. He wants to join us. He wants to join us. I'll absolutely be happy with that. But we continue to wait. I mean, I need to not wait too long because we are going to have pre-season time coming up soon. But we continue to wait to see whether we will get the request for backroom staff changes. Second we get that, we know we've got the job. Right, let's make an offer. Got 147 in the bank. Got best part of 400,000 there. Let's offer lowball it to begin with, and we can always go higher. So 85 million up front. And let's say 40 million, 125 million in total. Let's throw that in just as an opening offer and see whether they laugh us out or if they counter offer. If they counter offer, they're interested in doing business. If they don't counter offer, that could be a problem. Moving clubs. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Chelsea are going to offer us a contract. They're asking for our backroom changes. Right. Okay then. Ruben, are you interested in coming? You're not the best assistant manager. However, I like to show loyalty. Neil, you look pretty good. What's their head of youth development like? You're better than him. You're coming with me. Right. Hang on. That's same. Oh, it's Neil Bath and Neil Bain. Oh, that confused me. Right. Neil, Sorry, you're not in. We're already paying a lot of compensation with those guys. I'd quite like Robin Van Persie, but we're not going to get him. He's a good goalkeeping coach. What are the goalkeeping coaches here like? You're terrible. You're good. Right, you're out. You're in. Okay, oh yeah, and you're out as well. Right, that puts us above the compensation, so we have to make a sacrifice here. Maybe, just maybe, we keep this guy. Because actually, he ain't that bad. Yeah. Yeah, we do that. Do that, and then we still have a little bit of money actually left over. Maybe we get him as a coach, as a scout, because he is a decent scout. He's not that good actually. But he's better than that. Frank Lampard. Does Frank Lampard want to come with me? Where's Frank? Doesn't look like he does, because I can't find him. Right, well, I think we'll leave it at that. We are going to Chelsea, assuming that they offer us a contract. I've now kind of switched off from Southampton. There's no point doing anything else. There's no point doing anything else at all, because in the nicest possible way, we're not going to be here much longer. There it is. £77 million. We have just dramatically increased the amount of money that we have in our transfer budget, but that is about what we had. Wage budget is 3.9 million. Our current wage budget here is 3.8. It's a slight increase on that, but we know they just want Europa League and acceptable performances. So what I am going to do, because it's an offer that I've put in, I am going to take this out for Capital. I am being a little bit sneaky there. However, it's a transfer that I was looking at making, so I think it's only fair that we take that out. But let's negotiate. So what are we currently on? Let's double check that. So we're currently on 65. So they're not offering us a pay increase. I would quite like a pay increase, if I'm honest. Top division relegation drop, really? That can go up to 50 for all I care. But I would quite like this to go up to 75. 71. Sure. We're leaving Southampton. We're leaving the boys. Kuchiyara has left before us. But we're leaving Orlando. We're leaving Shelderer. We're leaving Jay Leathan. You know we're going to come in for some of them if we can raise some funds. But my word, that's dramatic. I did not expect that to happen. Right. Well, time has come. We knew it was going to happen. It's happened a year later than I thought it was going to. But I will leave it here. And I will see you in the next episode, which will be episode 1 of Club 4 of my career. And we'll look to build on the success we've had here at Southampton. Build towards the second Champions League title. Be very exciting to see whether we can do that. So, thank you very much for watching today's video. But it is going to be here that we leave Southampton. If you've been following us with Southampton, thank you so much for that. If you are gutted we're leaving, don't be sad that it's ended. Be happy that it happened. And if you're a Southampton fan and you saw us lift the Champions League, glad you had that moment with us. But I will see you for episode 1 of Chelsea. So until then, thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, I know it's a bit of a weird one, but don't forget to leave a like on there. And if you're excited to see us get started at Chelsea, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you for the next episode with a new club. Cheers.